If you ain't keeping God's commandments, you dead.
Right.
Y'all are dead spiritually. Y'all are walking around here, you dead in your mind psychologically. God, we trying to awaken you to what God say. But again, y'all in this dead state, just going about your life, getting drunk, selling your body. You understand that, brother? You understand that when we keep God's commandments, it brings life to us? Come over here, I'm gonna show you this sign right here, man. Give me 5 minutes. Right here. Walk around this way. Come on, this way right here. Yeah, right here in the front. We want you in the front so you can see all this information right here. What's your name, brother? Boom. Boom. Nice to meet you, Boom. I believe I spoke to you before, Boom. Mr. Boom. Where do you see yourself on this side? Huh? Right here. You never been African American? A black man? What type of black man? You from the Caribbean? American black. Tribe of Judah.
That's right.
That's the lineage we come from. You're not finna find black man or American black man in the Bible.
Right.
But you can't find the 12 tribes of Israel in the Bible. You understand that? Understand when a white man rose up into power, he changed all the names of the races. That's why when we read the Bible, we confused. Who is this? Who is that? We know who is who. Understand me? Before black, you was an Israelite.
That's right.
And you said you never been in slavery, but the effects of slavery is still in your mind because you called yourself a black man. You know what? That's an effect of our enslavement here in America for 400 years. This right here, although you didn't physically go through it, I'm pretty sure you was born at a time where there was elders that had parents that went through it. So it still affects you. It still affects me. So you was born probably what, in the 60s? 50s? So you was born in the 50s. A 70-year-old man in 1950 was born in the late 1800s. 60, I'm sorry. Elder man born in the 60s.
I was born in the 50s.
Okay, around that time, an old man or a woman born during that time, they was born and conceived in the 1800s. Their parents guaranteed were slaves. So we not that far removed like we think we are.
Right.
You understand me? See that? Look, my white grandmother picked cotton in Mississippi. And she's still alive. So we can't say that we never went through that. Our people went through it. Yeah. So good. Now we got a connection. So now, again, so you say you a black man, right? Jeremiah 14 and 1. We're going to switch gears a little bit. Jeremiah 14, verse 1.
Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 1.
2.
Verse 2. Judah mourning, and the gates thereof language.
The tribe of Judah is in mourning. They're not in a good position on this earth. The tribe of Judah today is in mourning. They're not in a good position where they happy. Read.
They are black unto the ground.
It says, Judah mourneth and the gates thereof languish. The gates is where our elders was always at to judge matters. Our elders, they killed them during the 60s. They killed a lot of our leaders back in the day. You understand? And any man that raised up to be a leader, guess what they do to him? They slander them in the media. He's this, he's that. They assassinate him. You understand me? Yeah, exactly. That's why he said it languishes. Come on.
They are black unto the ground.
The tribe of Judah is a black race. We black. That's why I agree with you. We are a black race. Yes, we are black people. But our nationality is Judah. Because there's a lot of different black people on this earth. Come on.
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
God hears our cries. He knows our affliction. He knows what we go through. He knows that these police officers is shooting and killing us at these stoplights.
Right.
He knows that the police officers is beating up on these young teenagers in schools and stuff like that. Not all of them. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. But yeah, they still they don't like none of us. Mm-hmm. Okay. You know where to get the guns? The white man. Nah, you say you from LA, right? I'm from Chicago. The same thing that happened in LA happened in Chicago. All that crack that went in LA in the 80s, the CIA dropped that off. All them guns that them Bloods and Crips and all that is shooting each other with, come on, them guns come from European countries. Well, where do you shoot a Beretta and an AK-47? They come from Russia. How do you get your hands on them? You know how much guns cost? We grown men. Guns are very expensive. How is these teenage kids having all this artillery? I'm from the south side of Chicago. The guns they have is bigger than them. I know kids ain't making that much money to get them type of guns. You see what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, it's other forces behind the scenes allowing this to happen. Why? Because we sinned against God. Read on.
And their nobles have sent their little ones to the waters.
Jeremiah 17:1. Okay, but I want you to hear this. But I want you to hear this before you go. Why y'all always in a rush, man? What's going on? But look at the sun. The day is still fresh. We got all the time in the world.
Right.
We ain't finna be here for long, so listen to the words of God. You know what I mean? Come on.
Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 1.
Listen.
The sin of Judah.
Sin of Judah is we sinned against God. Make no mistake about it. We sinned against God, and like you said, we still are sinning against God. Just the youngsters are more evident in their sins. But all of us are sinning as a nation. We ain't doing right. Read.
The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron.
And our sin is so ingrained in us, it's like written in a pen of iron, like a tattoo. It's permanent. Come on.
And with the point of a diamond.
Like written like with a point of a diamond. It ain't going nowhere. Read.
It is graven upon the table of their heart.
It's psychologically embedded in us. Because remember, we've been here for 400 years. The way we walk, the way we talk, the way we think is a product of our environment here in America. It's ingrained in us. Read.
And upon the horns of our altars.
You see that talking about these idolatrous churches. So we can't say that, oh, I never been through slavery. The psychological effects of slavery is in our mind.
Right.
Now, because of that, verse 4.
Verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue.
This is a fly. Read that again.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage.
So, listen, God said, this people right here, we're going to discontinue from our heritage. You know what your heritage is, sis? What's your race? What's your nationality? So, black, African American, right? God said that's the tribe of Judah, right? But guess what? You never said what God called you. You never said you from the tribe of Judah. Right. You said you black, African American. You know why? Because this verse, this is the prophecy. Everything that's going on right now in this world was written in this book. This is the book of life. Read that and show it to her.
Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself.
God is talking to Jeremiah. He said, Jeremiah, even you, yourself,
shall discontinue from thine heritage.
So that don't just mean him as a person. It's talking about his race. How do we discontinue? We discontinue during slavery. Read.
That I gave thee.
We discontinue from the heritage that God gave us. His knowledge of being his holy people, the Israelites. But because we sinned, God allowed us to go through slavery. You understand that? Read.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
And in our enslavement, we have to serve our enemies. Friends don't inspect friends. Children to be sold as cattle. This is real image. You see the system? Look, we just make this up. Friends don't make friends pick cotton.
Right. Friends
don't sell friends. You know we were sold in Oak Cliff, in South Dallas. You know we were sold here, right? Or we were sold down there in Deep Ellum on slave auction blocks.
Right.
They put shackles on us. Read.
I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
In the land which thou knowest not. So, let me ask you something. What's troubling you? What's bothering you? If you want to speak on it. What's bothering you, sis? Yeah, we good for now. Thank you, Milton. Okay, so what's causing that emotional distress? What do you think it is? Is it your environment? Is it family? Is it money? All of it? Okay. So all these things are plaguing your mind, right? You know why we're going through this? Because what you're going through is not isolated from what the rest of your people is going through. A lot of your people, us, is catching hell. You know why, sis? I'm going to show you why. Deuteronomy 28, verse 28.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 28.
Come on.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness.
See that? The Lord has smitten his people with psychological disorders. A lot of us have health issues, mental issues. Why? Because we sinned against God. We can't sin against God and hope for a good life and hope for mental prosperity. Mental happiness, that's not going to happen. Read.
And blindness, and astonishment of heart.
You see that? Read.
And thou shalt grope at noonday.
You see that? We're going to grope at noonday. We're looking for the answers. We're going to different religions. Maybe Christianity can help me. Maybe Islam can help me. Maybe the alcohol can help me. You know what can help you, sis? Keeping God's commandments.
That's right.
Give me that in the, Zeb, what's that? Keep the commandments and he going to heal us. Yeah, read 19.
Psalms chapter 107 and verse 19. Then they cry unto the Lord.
See that? You got to cry unto the Lord. What?
In their trouble.
In your trouble, you got to learn to call on God. You got to learn how to call on God. Get around good men that call on God, to call on God on your behalf. And you already did that, and we're going to do that. Because I said I would. Come on.
And he saveth them out of their distress.
Guess what? God said he's going to save us out of our distress. What's our distress? The effects of slavery. We still here. We ain't went nowhere. We still in this land suffering.
That's right.
And God said, when you cry unto him, he's going to hear you. Read.
He sent his word and healed them.
You see that? It says, read that from the top again.
He sent his word.
19, and they cried unto the Lord.
And they cried unto the Lord in their trouble.
Read.
And he saveth them out of their distress.
That's what you're looking at right now. God is beginning to save us out of this condition.
Right.
It's not going to happen in a day. It's not going to happen in a week. But it's happening right now. Look around. You got young men that look from all different types of walks of life out here teaching the Bible. That's not strange to you? That ain't weird? Yeah. Why? Because God is raising up saviors to go teach and save the people.
That's right.
Read.
He sent his word.
He sent his word. Focus, listen, he sent his word. The words of God is in this book. This is not a white man's book. This is not a religious book. This is a book about this people right here ruling the earth, falling because of sin. We fail. And God is going to give us the laws and we're going to raise back up and rule the earth again.
Right.
That's what this book is about. Read. And guess what? What's good that come out of this? You descend from that people. So you're going to rise with the people. But you got to keep God's commandments.
That's right.
Read.
And healed them. And delivered them from their destruction.
God said he's going to heal you. What's that one in Wisdom of Solomon? Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 12. So don't worry about it. Don't stress. Don't fret in your mind. You understand me? You need to learn how to call on God. Tell him all your troubles. Tell him all your problems. And do what he say do out the Bible. And he going to deliver you. Day by day. What you got for him?
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 16 and verse 12. For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster.
So it ain't medicine. Herb and mollifying plaster is ancient medicine. Come on.
That restored them to health.
That's not going to restore us mentally to health. You can go to a white man therapist and tell him all your problems. That's not going to heal your spirit.
Right.
Our spirit need healing.
That's right.
Only the words of God can do that.
Right.
And how? Through the keeping of his commandments.
That's
then
right.
He'll heal you. Come on.
That restored them to health. But thy word, O Lord, which have healed all things.
God's words can heal all things. God's words can heal all things.
That's right. Come on.
Guess what? You just got to believe. Don't doubt. Believe that.
Right.
Believe that. God's word can turn a hoe into a housewife. Excuse my language. God's words can turn a deadbeat father into a good family man.
Right.
God's words can change people overnight. Give me that in 1 Samuel. What Samuel told the king Saul. You shall be changed into another man. Yeah, 1 Samuel chapter 10, verse 6. Absolutely. You guys need anything? Brother Nathan? I'm not sure about no Brother Nathan. Yes. Soldier Nathan. Oh, yeah. We know him. That's your cousin? Listen to your cousin. Your cousin a good man.
Right.
So do you listen? sister, I think it's your time to listen now.
Right.
You understand me? You got your cousin talking to you, and guess what? You ran into your cousin's brothers. We finna see him at the school in a couple hours. Sister, you need to follow your cousin.
Right.
Why? Because your cousin, hold that, we can come back to that. What Paul said, Romans 11:1. Follow me for I follow God. 1 Corinthians 11:1. Yeah. I'm gonna show you why. Yeah, book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. Come on.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 1. Be ye followers of me.
Follow the men that's following God. Paul said, be ye followers of me. Follow me. Read.
Even as I also am of Christ.
Because we follow Christ. And Christ is not a white man. His depiction is black in the Bible.
Right.
Your cousin Nathaniel is a prophet. God woke him up. The things that he's saying is not coming from him, it's coming from the Bible. God put that in his mind. For you to understand who you are and to go out and teach like that, you one of God's men in these last days. And that's your bloodline. That's good. You need to follow that man. You understand? You need to come to the school. I know as far as in Fort Worth, but come to the school, come learn. Come keep the commandments. John 14:15.
Bring it out.
John 14:15. All right?
Bring it out. John chapter 14 and verse 15. If you love me, keep my commandments.
You know who this is speaking? Christ, the Son of God. He said what?
If you love me, keep my commandments.
You love God? What you got to do now? Keep the commandments. Keep the commandments. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Is that it? He that destroyeth his body? So, let me ask you something. What's that lighter in your hand for? Uh-oh. What's that for? Smoke. Are we allowed to smoke? I'm going to show you that. Read that for him.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16.
I don't mean to bust you out, but we got to teach you. I do mean to teach you. I don't mean to embarrass you. I mean to encourage you to keep God's laws. Come on.
Right. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
We are the temple of God. Back in our homeland, when we had the temple up, guess what? The words of God, the Bible, was in the Ark of the Covenant inside the temple. But God he's not focusing on that temple right now. Why? Because he got all these temples right here. We are the temple of God. Read.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you.
The Spirit of God is the words of God. The Spirit of God is the laws of God.
Right.
Romans 7, verse 14. Hold that. I'm going to show you. The Spirit of God is the laws of God.
What?
It's supposed to dwell in you. It's supposed to be in your mind. You're supposed to sit down, study, learn from men who know more than you. Learn from women that has been doing this longer than you, and apply God's laws. Come on.
Romans chapter 7 and verse 14.
Right.
For we know that the law is spiritual.
See that? The law is spiritual. Read.
But I am carnal, sold under sin.
Now go back to Corinthians.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
You are the temple of God.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you.
Now go back to Romans 7 and 14 for.
Romans.
The Spirit of God is supposed to dwell in you. The Spirit of God is what? The laws of God. Read that and show it to him.
Romans chapter 7 and verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual.
Paul the Apostle understood that God's laws, his laws is spiritual. And them laws are supposed to dwell in you. The words is supposed to dwell in you. Go back to Corinthians. We're going to finish that up now.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16.
Again from the top, yep.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
Understand, you are the temple of God.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you.
The laws of God are supposed to dwell in your mind. That's what it's supposed to be at. Read.
If any man defile the temple of God.
You want to defile the mind of God. You want to defile the temple of God, your whole body, by smoking cigarettes, smoking any drugs, smoking anything. Read.
Him shall God destroy.
God said he's going to destroy that man or woman. I mean, he's going to kill them. God said, you want to destroy the body that I lent you, because your life is lent to you. It's only given to you for a short amount of time for you to come down here and keep the commandments. Because God's purpose is for man to be on this earth keeping his commandments so we can subdue the world.
Right.
But guess what? Obviously, we done got sidetracked. We done got real sidetracked. But that was God's plan from the beginning. And that's going to be God's plan in the ending. So God said, if you destroy my temple that I lent you, you're not going to be in my kingdom, because there's a kingdom of heaven. Understand, sister, this horrible life that we living right now, this ain't the end. This ain't the end.
Right.
There is a life after this life.
Right.
You understand that? Show her that. Show her that. Give me that in Revelations 2. 2 and 26, I think. 2 and 25.
Revelation chapter 2 and verse 25.
Come on.
No.
But that which ye have.
You know what we have already that's of God? We got 80 books. We got 80 books that the prophets wrote for us that come directly from God. That's all ours. Directly from the Father.
Right.
Read.
And he that overcometh.
He or she that overcometh. You got to overcome your own personal sins. You got to overcome your own personal temptations, your own personal sorrows, your own personal psychological hang-ups. Just like me, I got to overcome my own personal sins, my own personal psychological hang-ups, my own personal temptations. And we got to overcome the temptations that's in this society, causing us to sin, like smoking. That's what the world tell you to do. That's the world tell you to smoke to overcome. No, you need to toss that. Don't smoke. Come on.
And keepeth my words unto the end.
No, keeping my works.
Keepeth my works unto the end.
He that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end. The works of God is the laws of God.
That's right.
The works of God is the laws of God. That's all God wants us to do, keep his commandments. Just do what I say do. And do the things that's pleasing to me. Is that so hard? Is it so hard to keep God's commandments? Don't kill, don't steal, don't commit adultery, don't defile your temple. Are these things really that hard? No. Read.
To him will I give power over the nation.
Remember I told you in Genesis 1, God said what? He created man to do what, sister? Why was we made? Listen, I'm going to help you out. And this is 126, I'm going to help you out. Remember I told you. What were we supposed to do with that knowledge when we got here on this earth? What was the game plan? It's okay. I'm going to read it for you. It's okay. We're going to take our time. Start at verse 26.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26.
Come on.
And God said,
What did he say?
let us make man in our image.
He made man. Directly men, not women. Man. You see these black brothers right here? They was literally made in the image of God. And it ain't talking about the other nation. It ain't talking about the white man and the Chinese. The black man,
What?
this man, was literally made in the image of God. You read?
After our likeness.
After our likeness. The angels and God and Christ look like us. They don't look like this. It's the white image right here. Jeff, I'm hitting this right. I can't even see
Yeah,
it.
that's easy.
Okay.
That's easy.
We don't, no, God don't look like this. God look like that description right there. The
That's
black
right.
image. Huh? That's what God calls it. The devil. Read.
And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea.
So God made us to put his laws in there so we can have dominion over the fish of the sea. Read.
And over the fowl of the air.
Have dominion over the fowl of the earth. Read.
And over the cattle.
And over all the cattle, the beasts. Read.
And over all the earth.
And guess what? Other men is included in there. Everything outside of God's creation, the Israelites, are beasts of burden, including the other nations. They was created to serve us. Do you understand that God intended for you? You're not even supposed to walk this ground. You know that, right? In the kingdom, y'all gonna be carried everywhere. I'll show her that in Deuteronomy 28:53, I think. I got to show you these prophecies that encourage you and make and get that depression, that sad spirit off.
Verse 56.
Yes, sir.
The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom.
Read that again from the top. Now, this is talking about when we was in our land and God brought his enemies against us. And guess what? They besieged us in our land. We couldn't go out, we couldn't go in. So guess what? we was running out of food. So God said that we would do some strange things because we ran out of food. But I want you to see what God said about the black woman and the Latin woman. Read that again for her.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you.
God created y'all to be tender and delicate. So why women walk around here with combat boots on, telling us how to teach? Why is black women today in a black man's face trying to tell him something? God said y'all was tender, not masculine. These women today is masculine. God said what?
The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground.
Your feet were so delicate. Your lifestyle was so plush. You wouldn't even want to walk outside. You understand me? That's how far we fallen. So in the kingdom of heaven, the same thing. You're going to go back to that estate. You're going to go back to that royalty. But you got to keep God's commandments. That's what God is offering us. That's why we're here. That's why our lives are extended here for the hope that we can repent.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 1.
Yep.
And
Read that.
And I saw a new heaven.
So this is John the Revelator. He saw a new heaven, meaning a new rulership. This right here, this American society is going to fall. It's going to collapse. America's going to fall by World War III, thermonuclear destruction. That's what's going to happen. And a lot of these people right here, they're going to die when the bombs drop. Because they're not taking what we're saying serious. They think it's a game.
Bring it out.
But sis, what your cousin telling you, what I'm telling you, is very serious.
That's right.
Read.
And I saw a new heaven.
And it's going to be a new rulership, a new kingdom on this earth. Read.
And a new earth.
And it's going to be a new earth, meaning a new society, a new way of living. It's going to be a celestial city. Read.
For the first heaven and the first earth will pass away.
All this is going to be nuked to hell and back. It's going to be bombed to hell and back by the countries. So they got to rebuild. And they're going to rebuild according to what we say. The men of the Lord. Read.
And there was no more sea.
And there's no more war. Read.
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem.
You see that? I told you. This life is not the only life that we're going to be living. God promised that he's going to let us see New Jerusalem. Read.
Coming down from God out of heaven.
Because it's heavenly. It's celestial. It's not earthly. Come on.
Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
It's going to be so beautiful, our new city and the kingdom of heaven. It's going to be like a wife getting married on her wedding day. Now, you know them, the big, beautiful weddings? That's how beautiful our city's going to be.
Right.
It ain't going to be like Dallas, New York. These cities is made out of flesh and blood, concrete and all that. Come on, iron and steel.
And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying,
what?
Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men.
And that day, God is going to be living with us.
Right.
Read.
And he will dwell with them. And they shall be his people.
And God said he going to dwell with us. But guess what? God ain't finna dwell with a bunch of drug dealers. God ain't finna live with a bunch of crackheads. He's not finna come down here and dwell with a bunch of hoes. God is not dealing with that. That's why right now, it's cleanup time. We the cleanup men. We the cleanup men. God sent his men to come out here to get on the people so they can clean up their ways.
Right.
Why? Because this is the plan of God. It's finna be a new heaven, a new rulership, a new earth, and it's gonna be so beautiful like a woman on her wedding day.
Bring it out.
And guess what? All the men, women, and children that took God's commandments serious is gonna be entering in.
Right.
Read.
And they shall be his people.
And we're gonna be his people.
And God himself shall be with them.
And God himself, he's gonna dwell with us. Read.
And be their God.
Read. Listen, sister.
And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes.
See that all that sorrow you got, God gonna wipe that away.
Right.
All the mental hangers we have, that's gonna go away. Read.
And there shall be no more death.
And there's gonna be no more death. You know when good people die and we cry, we can be real sad, like, man, why they have to go? When babies die, we cry, we like, man, why the baby have to go? There's gonna be no more death. You know what that means? What does no more death mean? If God is offering you not to die no more, what that mean about your life? But what does that mean? About how many years you gonna live? If you don't die, forever. That's eternal life.
Right.
That's eternal life. God is saying in that day, it's not gonna be no death amongst us. The other people gonna die, the other nations gonna die, because They not chosen. And they enslaved us, and we got to get some get back. You know get back is some revenge. Oh, they all this thing go on, and we not finna get no revenge. We finna get some revenge.
Bring it out.
I'm talking about the men. We gonna go to war, and we gonna destroy these nations for destroying us. And guess what? The women and kids, y'all gonna reap the benefits.
That's right.
You understand? We gonna come home and be like, hey, look, baby, look what I got. We gonna come home with wealth. We're gonna rule this world for 1,000 years. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? The black man is gonna be put in a rulership position once again on this earth.
That's right.
The black man failed because we sinned against our God.
Right.
So he rose up other people to rule over us. But the tables will be turned very soon. Maybe within our lifetime. And this is the beginning of it. God sending his men to go out there and teach.
Right.
God woke your cousin up. God put them words in his mouth to tell all his people. Nathaniel gonna be in that kingdom of heaven. You understand that?
That's right.
Lord's will, we gonna be in that kingdom of heaven. We want y'all to be with us.
Right.
Come on.
And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes.
God gonna wipe away all tears. If you crying over bills, it ain't gonna be no bills to cry over. If you crying over death, ain't nobody gonna die. If you crying because you just ain't got no money, you're gonna be wealthy in that day.
That's right.
If you crying because whatever, it's gonna be fixed. Come on, is that it?
And there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying.
Right.
Neither shall there be any more pain.
No more sorrow, no more crying. Neither shall there be any more pain. Our bodies are going to change in that day. Because remember, flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God. Right. Remember Paul told you that? So we ain't even going to look the same. We're going to have our heavenly bodies. We ain't getting in heaven all with these tattoos. We all jacked up. No. God going to give us a new body. Read.
For the former things are passed away.
All them things are going to pass away when America and all these other kingdoms get destroyed and pass away. Read.
And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I will make all things new.
He's going to make all things new. He's going to make all things new. He's going to make all things new. So don't stress too much about what you're going through right now. Focus on what we finna get and keep his commandments so you can get it, receive these things. And yes, God is so merciful, he's going to better your life even now too, if you keep his word. The problem is our people, they don't got no faith. You got to have faith to receive blessings. Hold that. Hebrews 11:6. It says, faith is going to have God increase you and bless you. You know, we done met men from the bottom that's unrecognizable today. You understand me? We've met sisters from the bottom. Used to be in the streets. Now they married with kids. They got a life. They happy. And they finna get this new kingdom that's coming.
Right.
So your life gonna be better now and in the future.
That's right.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win. I think you need to follow your cousin. Come on.
Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 6.
Let's get to it.
But without faith, it is impossible to please him.
It's impossible to please God with no faith. So the things we read, you got to have faith to believe that. Is that it? Read that again.
But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is.
When you come to God and ask for the men of God to pray for you, you got to believe that God is. He is, and there's nothing else. There's no God besides God.
Right.
The one true God. And yes, he is black, and we are made in his image. Read.
And that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
See that? God rewards men according to their works. So if you was put on this earth and all you did was sell your behind on 2nd and Metro, all you did was sell crack to your people, all you did was you was just a dope boy your whole life, you're going to reap the rewards for that. You're going to hell. You're going to have eternal damnation.
Right.
You're going to be tormented forever. You're going to die a horrible death in this life. You might die in a prison cell. Somebody else might kill you for your dope spot. And then you're going to be in the chambers in darkness waiting on the second death 1,000 years after we reign. And then God going to put you to death again. In the lake of fire. That's hell. Or you could be on this earth. Yeah, you might have did wrong starting off because you didn't know better. But once you heard God's laws, you changed. And you said, you know what? You got on your knees and prayed to God and said, Lord, forgive me. And you tried to keep your commandments every day thereafter. And you got eternal life. You're going to get rewarded for that. You're going to get rewarded for that. Every single man, woman, and child got a choice on whether they're going to live right or whether they're going to live wrong in this lifetime. The time is now. It ain't later, it's right now. So if you was a piece of ish on this earth now, God gonna kill you. But if you tried and you was righteous, God gonna deliver you. It's just that simple. Come on. Verse 1.
Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Now faith, what is faith? It's the substance of things hoped for. You understand me? Faith is, for example, we hope for a kingdom. That's why we set these signs up and come out here and teach. Because we have faith to teach. Because we hope for a kingdom. You hope for a kingdom, that's why you stop it and listen, because you do have a little bit of faith. Christ said if you got faith as the grain of a mustard seed, it's a little bit because you're there. These folks ain't listening. Why are you listening? Faith. But over time, you got to increase that. Read.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Not near one of us brothers in purple has seen the kingdom of heaven. We have not seen it. But the evidence that we believe it is in our actions. It's not in your words. It's in your actions. Your actions dictate your faith.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.